I don't know how anybody can watch what happened yesterday and or see any of these clips that came out and think at all whatsoever that this was not a major cover up, that everything regarding the first family's finances, this has nothing to do with petty politics. I would be all over Trump or DeSantis or anybody else, and you would be too. But when you are using your authority that has been vested in you by the vote of the people, and you're abusing it, and you're enriching yourself while compromising national security, you're laundering money. What else is there? It's Occam's razor. They've got all these shell companies, and all this money is going. I mean, we all watch Ozark, okay? We all know they got all these shell. They're laundering money through that. What do you? Who gets just like randomly almost $7 million from Romania? You think they gave that to Hunter Biden out of the goodness of their hearts? We really like you. No. They're paying for something. What? All of this. I don't know how anybody can see these clips and walk away thinking that this isn't one of the biggest miscarriages of justice to the point where it cracks the foundation of this nation. It does. And we've got some, we're going to get into some of it. We got a lot of stuff to get into actually today. We got some culture. We've got the media reaction to some of the hearing yesterday. You're going to want to hear that for sure. But this has been, I watched, after we got off air, I watched the rest of the hearing. And there were some really interesting, fascinating parts of this. And it was intriguing to me that all of the Democrats spent all of their time essentially doing B-roll for campaign videos, etc. I think there was only, and I'm going to give credit where due, I think there was only one or two Democrats that actually asked a question. Although Raskin did it while he was being a jackwagon, but they were actually asking some questions. But everybody else, they were monologuing. All of them were monologuing. They were just trying to get some B-roll for their, re-election bid footage. Yeah, their media buddies. I want you to listen to this. This is one of the representatives. This is audio soundbite 5. And this is one of these Democrats that was sitting there monologuing, right? I think we all learned the lesson on that from The Incredibles, by the way. You caught me monologuing. I want you to listen to what this congressman, this is an elected official, he's supposed to be your moral better, sitting in Congress during this hearing. I want you to hear what he thinks these agencies, their jobs are, what they're supposed to do. Listen.
Here's what galls me. I don't like these attacks on the Department of Justice, the FBI, the IRS, as if they are somehow anti-U.S. agencies. Those agencies keep this democracy in check. It keeps them afloat. They provide the checks and they provide the balances.
That's not what they do. They provide the checks and they provide the balances. That is not what they do. Really? They provide checks and balances. That's not what these are bureaucratic agencies of unelected officials who are not accountable to you. They're accountable to the people that we put into elected office. And those are the people, ladies and gentlemen, that are to provide the checks and the balances, our branches of government. Oh my gosh, bring back Schoolhouse Rock. Right. By the way, sidebar, how invaluable was that? Right, it was so good. It's the job of the No, actually, they haven't been keeping democracy in check. They haven't been. I don't know how you can say that. They've been entirely politicized. This has been going on since the 90s. I remember when I was a kid, and I was in junior high when Bill Clinton was when he was running, and then when he was going for re-election, there were stories that were coming out. I mean, like Bill O'Reilly, for instance, who's on the first two. And by the way, when you watch the radio program, it's the simulcast of the radio program, and you can watch it via the first. DirecTV, Channel 347, YouTube, Facebook. But Bill O'Reilly's on the first. I don't think he's ever really talked about it. I think he touched on it in a book. But I remember hearing that on the news. Like, Clinton's IRS was going after him because of the way that O'Reilly was reporting on him. That was the first time I'd ever, and I was in junior high, that was the first time I had ever heard about the IRS being abused that way. And then it was just something I always watched, government agencies being abused. Because, when you're growing up, you think that the adults are supposed to be the people who know better. And the adults are in charge of government. And they're in charge of all of these things that are going to affect your life, and affect your life not just now, but affect your life far into the future. And so you have faith in them just because it's sort of, you're sort of born with that expectation. You have to have faith in these agencies. You have to have faith in these people, or trust them at least. Put your no faith in anyone here on earth. But you're supposed to at least be able to trust them. They're supposed to have some kind of credibility. And as you get older and as you get more aware, it's not cynicism. It is the shattered dream of what you thought you were growing up into. That's not cynicism. That's the depressing weight of reality. Because people are flawed. And a government is only as good as the people are. And as much as I want to throw everything at these agencies, they are a reflection of us. Now, some of us have been out there. I can't say it universally, because I have some really good friends who they have such a passion to serve, and they canvass and they help educate voters, and they offer to take voters to people to go vote. And they do all of this for, nobody pays them. They do it because they believe in it that much, which is amazing. And they don't have the time to do it. They make the time to do it. That's the difference between a patriot and a couch sitter. Nobody's got the time to do it. You make the time to do it. You'd rather make the time to do it than not be able to have the opportunity to do it at all. But it's the cynicism. And we've all seen, I think that also kind of contributes to this degradation of rule of law and this growing hostility between the citizenry and this ever-expanding government and this, other pillar of government that, these nameless, faceless bureaucrats who do the bidding of these elected officials, so these elected officials can look like their hands are clean. It is depressing. That's why you got to teach your kids early. But this has been the hearing yesterday and then the hearing today. I tell you guys, it is a back-to-back sucker punch in terms of our ability to trust our government. Now, I'm going to have some more on the oversight or the weaponization of government. We're going to get into that, but I'm also looking at just some of the insane stuff that came out yesterday. The whistleblower who was named, Joseph Ziegler. Listen to this. It's a little long, but I want you to listen to it because he went into how much I want you to realize this is just 2014 to 2019. Who knows? Nobody knows how much they've received after this. Ziegler testified. And again, he's the IRS special agent. He knows. He's seen it. Can you imagine? What would you do if you did? What would happen to you if you got $17 million and you didn't claim it in taxes? Holy hell. People are getting busted for anything over $600 on Etsy or Venmo or PayPal. But 17 million. Listen to this. This is this whistleblower, Ziegler, who came out yesterday. The media has no idea how to handle this guy. And listen to him give receipts.
I want to discuss with you specific payments made to Hunter Biden and the Biden family. Democrats and the left-wing media are also saying there's no evidence. Well, let's get into the evidence, Mr. Ziegler. I want to direct you to pages 99 and 100 of your transcript. How much money did Hunter Biden and his associates receive from the Romanian company you identified?
So that amount would be from Romania. So the approximate total transfers from the Romania company would have been $3.1 million to everyone.
$3.1 million. How much did Hunter Biden and his business associates receive from State Energy HK Limited through the Robinson Walker LLC?
So total transfers from State Energy HK to Rob Walker was $3 million.
$3 million. Was there a $100,000 payment from CEFC Infrastructure to Owasco PC, Hunter Biden's professional corporation?
Yes, Chairman.
Approximately how much was transferred to Hunter Biden and his business associates through Hudson West 3?
So the total transfers from Hudson West 3 to everyone was $3.7 million.
$3.7 million. How much money did Hunter Biden and his business associates receive from the Ukrainian company Burisma?
Burisma paid to everyone involved $6.5 million.
$6.5 million. Burisma also paid Blue Star Strategies and a law firm hundreds of thousands of dollars, bringing the total Burisma payments to over $7 million. Is that correct?
That is correct, $7.3 million.
$7.3 million. Between 2014 and 2019, this brings the total amount of foreign income streams received to approximately $17 million, correct?
That is correct.
One of the other things that Ziegler said is he was the guy who prepped the search warrant for Hunter Biden's storage locker. But that one U.S. attorney who was getting in the way, he actually said no to searching it. But then he let the defense for Hunter Biden let them know that they knew about the storage locker. You tell me there's not 2 tiers of justice